Hi, how are you doing? Today we're going to have a theoretical session. Our lesson for today is direct data entry devices. Direct data entry devices are devices that read data from a source that's provided and transferred it directly to the computer system. Unlike input devices, which rely on physical interaction, which means you will have to physically move or do something to the device for an outcome. Meaning, we're having two types of input devices. So, what are input devices? Do you remember? Input devices are hardware that you're using to communicate with your computer, such as keyboard, mouse, scanner, touch screen. All of those are input devices because you need them to communicate or to input data inside your computer. You're using the keyboard to type in words to input those paragraphs and those text inside the Word document. You're using the mouse to select anything on your desktop. You're using the scanner to input a hard copy image or a hard copy document to your computer to transfer the hard copy into a digital copy. Okay, so all of those are input devices. Okay, we're having two types of input devices, the normal input devices and the direct data entry devices. While using direct data entry devices, there is no need for physical interaction from the user or physical movement or doing anything with the device. For example, if we're using a magnetic strip reader, as we're having here, with a Visa card, with an ATM card, the reader will read the information on the card directly. It will read the account number, the balance amount, it will check the password. There is no need for any action to be taken from the user to input the account number, the amount of the balance, to check the password. All of those actions will be done directly with the device or with the reader. Otherwise, if we're using if we're using an input device, we need to type with our hands. If we're using the keyboard, we need to do a physical interaction or a physical move with the mouse to select anything on the keyboard, on the desktop, and so on. So this is the main difference between direct data entry devices and input device. Here we have examples for direct data entry devices. In this unit, you need to know the device name, the usage of the device, the advantages and disadvantages. Again, in this unit, you need to know the name of the device, okay, magnetic strip reader. You need to know the usage of the device. You need to know advantages and disadvantages of device. Okay. We're going to start with magnetic strip readers. Magnetic strip readers are used to read data found on magnetic strips found on the back of a card, such as ATM card. Usage: bank cards contains account details, arcade balance, security, hotel rooms, allows entry to specific room, gift card or the vouchers, control the amount of the voucher. Advantages of magnetic strip reader: it is fast data entry to the keyboard, it's secure, free of error, no typing, not affected by water, and it's easily updated. The disadvantages: strip card become unreadable if scratched. It does not work at a distance, easily lost or misplaced. Devices we're having as and pen readers. Chip and pens are used POS terminals to make a secure payment using a debit or a credit card. If you don't know what are POS terminals, here we have examples for point of sale. POS is an abbreviation for point of sale, the same as we're having in cashier, in shops, and restaurants for secure payment. The usage of chip and pin readers, they will be used to make a secured payment, as we said, in shops, supermarkets, by simply inserting your debit or credit card into the chip and pin reader and typing in your PIN. Advantages of chip and pin readers: secure method of payment compared to swipe and contactless method. Chip and pin to be damaged or compared to the magnetic swipe. Disadvantages: the pin could be read by someone watching or use a mirror, so your password could be taken by anyone who is watching or using a mirror. The second disadvantages is some machines can copy the card details. The third direct entry device is the contactless card. Contactless card readers are used by customers to pay for products at POS without need to enter a PIN. So the difference between chip and PIN and contactless card, there is no need for having a password while using a contactless card. How it works: the payment terminal picks up a signal from the chip to the process and complete the transaction when the card is within a few centimeters distance. So there is no need to enter your card inside a reader. Just pass the card on the machine, as you can see here, and the transaction will be done, okay, without having any password or any PIN. Advantages: quicker transaction, meaning less time spent at POS, don't have to use a PIN, transaction data, account detail is encrypted. Disadvantages: less secure than chip and PIN method. Anyone could use the card if it's lost. It is easier for thieves to copy details of the card. Only small payment can be made. Device number 4 will be radio frequency identification, or RFID. RFID reads information saved on tags, small silicon chip that can be placed on a sticker using radio waves. RFID tags can be attached to objects, animals, or people. Actually, RFID is similar to barcode, but it uses radio waves. Okay? The usage of the RFID will be to track movement of animals, stock control, scan stock items for quantity, in the airport to track luggage to make sure nothing is lost. Contactless card. The technique of the radio waves of RFID could be used in the contactless card we're having here. The advantages and disadvantages. Advantages: it can read object from distance, can read in bulk in large amount, very fast reading, quick response. It allow read and write operation to take place, okay, using the barcode can read and get an output, a written output from the scanning of the silicon chip. Can read biometric reading, the same as we're having here, the shapes we're having here is called biometric shapes. The disadvantages of using RFID is more expensive than barcode. Tags could interfere with each other. Okay, then we're having the MICR. MICR is an abbreviation for Magnetic Ink Character Reader. MICR is able to read characters printed in special ink. These characters are then converted into a form which could be understood by the computer. The most common usage of MICR is used to process bank checks. The characters at the bottom of the check, which are printed in a special ink. So the most common usage of MICR is being used in the bank check process. The characters at the bottom of the check, which are printed in a special ink, are read by magnetic ink reader character. Advantages of using MICR: there is no need for manual intertext, less chance of human error. As long as we're going to read the bank checks using the MICR, we're going to minimize the human factor and we're going to minimize the errors. Characters cannot be edited or changed. Characters can be read even if they have been written over. Okay, if anyone try to override or to write over the written character, the character could be read by MICR. The disadvantage of MICR: it's more expensive than using a keyboard to type manual data. Limited amount of characters can be read. OMR. OMR is an abbreviation for Optical Mark Reader. OMR is able to read marks written in pen or pencil. The option of the mark is stored in the computer's memory, or the correct answers of the marks, the model answers, will be saved in the computer memory. Actually, the OMR techniques is used in correcting the IG exams, okay, used to scan in marks from multiple choice exams, the surveys, and the lottery tickets. The advantages of OMR: a very fast method for inputting data, so no user has to manually enter results. More accurate than OCR, and we're gonna know what is the OCR. Less chances for errors. The disadvantages: forms have to be completed correctly to avoid manual checking, which would waste time. Actually, they mean that the model answers of the sheets and the forms should have been completed correctly to avoid the time, or to avoid wasting time in manually checking again after finishing the correction using OCR, or Optical Character Reader. OCR scans text from hard copies and converts it into editable form, which can be used and edited in a range of software, including word processor. Meaning OCR is a kind of scanners, okay? It scans hard copies such as documents, papers, passports, and transfer the data inside them into digital editable form that could be used with any software, such as word processor, Word, any software. Okay, the usage: it could be used in self-immigration system at airports, students scanning text from books which can be edited. Advantages: faster method of data entry compared to manually typing the data, less chance of error. Disadvantages: not as accurate as the OMR, optical mark reader, unable to read hard writing. It needs to scan from hard copies written on Word or any word processing software. Last device we're having is the barcode scanner, are used to scan barcodes, which we're having here. Contains unique information about a product, including price. Okay, barcode scanners are the same we're having in the supermarkets. Usage of the barcode readers are typically used at POS in shops. Advantages: far quicker and more accurate than typing in codes using a keyboard. Stock database can easily be updated with new prices. Barcodes would not need to be replaced. Disadvantages: barcode could be unreadable or missing. Barcode could be swapped, can be costly and expensive system. Thank you for watching.